What's up, everybody? This is Patrick Sugo with Sugo Real Estate Services here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about setting rents and determining what potential rent rate could be for an investment property. This is a pretty vital step for you if you're going to be investing in property, and ultimately, how accurate you are determines how profitable or not profitable that rental property could be. Jumping right in, really honestly, the first thing that you need to do if you're going to be buying property is getting accurate information for that property, which would be your address, what type of submarket is it in? Is it going to be in a student rental area or a family rental? Square footage, specifically finished. Unfinished square footage is great for storage, but living space is ultimately what's going to dictate some of the rent rates that you can charge. Bed bath count. I would say this is probably one of the more important factors of setting rents. More bedrooms, you're gonna be able to charge more. More bathrooms are a plus, and also gonna require and request more rent from individuals. Age of structure, which leads into the class of the property. And what I mean by class of the property is it an A class, super nice, new build, B class, a little bit older, dated, still nice, C class, probably pre-1980, maybe not very updated, and potentially not in a great part of town. In Fort Collins, a D class, we don't have too many of those, but the class of property will also be dictated based off your geolocation. An A property in Fort Collins is going to be very different from an A class in Detroit. Just like a D class property is going to be very different from a D class property in Detroit is going to be very different than a D class property in Fort Collins. So make sure that you're only paying attention to what an A class, B class, C class is in your geolocation. And then amenities. This will also dictate what type of premium or discount rent that you could charge for your rental. Does your place have a yard and a fence? AC, garage, 1 car, 2 car. Utilities, are you including Wi-Fi? Is there a pool? Fireplaces. That's the type of information that you can really find a lot of on your assessor's website, on Zillow, lots of different information gathering websites that you should implement in your rental analysis for that property. So that's step one, getting accurate information for your property. Alrighty, so the next part is after you have all of the subject property information, address, square footage, bedroom, bathroom counts, amenities, then you need to go and you really need to start leveraging all of the different data sources that are available for free, for purchase, through different brokerages. And what I do is essentially use the different sources that are out there and come up with a calculation that is going to get me as close to a market rent as possible. So jumping into some different ideas of where you could go is for free or just time and energy. You go to Zillow Rent Estimate. You go to Craigslist to look for comps. So search 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms or whatever your subject property is that you're going to potentially buy. Secret shop, pretend that you're a prospective tenant, calling property managers, essentially asking them what rental rates are, what do they have available, is there any wiggle room, what amenities come with them. I would say generally property managers do an okay job of marketing, but majority don't do a great job. So you can get them on the phone, and if they're willing to talk to you, don't call out the 31st or the first week or first or last week of the months. You're gonna get an angry property manager, but calling them during the middle of the months and asking them questions about different properties, and even really, which leads into like property managers. Give a call to a property manager, talk to them, tell them what you're gonna do. New investor to Fort Collins or whatever location that you're in, you're looking to build. Initially, you're gonna wanna probably manage them yourselves, but you're not a one and done type of individual, and you wanna build a relationship with a property management company in that location so that when the time comes that you do wanna step away, because you will ultimately wanna step away from managing your own property, you'll be able to have basically slide right into a property management company that you have a relationship with, know and trust. So leverage that, sell them, ask for information, ask for them to help you. And then there's gonna be a lot of different free websites out there that offer, a one-time offering of, a suggested rent price and Rentometer is an example, but there are others. So Google, rent estimates and things of that nature, which then leads into like a paid subscription or fee reports. I use rentrange.com. There are others that you can use that just give you a little bit more information and analytics about the properties and areas that ultimately will dictate, this formula of how you come to your rent. I use AppFolio and a rent match. So ultimately what that is there are other property managers in my location that use AppFolio. When they actually have rents that are coming in, that gets put together into a data warehouse for AppFolio, and they give you an analysis of what they feel your 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, single-family house in this area could go for in this radius. So it's really powerful, but ultimately that could be what a property manager uses. So that would be a question that I would ask a property manager is, what software do you use and do you leverage it? Because there is some outdated software, but AppFolio is very strong. Buildium, Turbo Tenant here in town, that's a nationwide company doing great things, could also be leveraged for estimating rents. CoStar would be more of a market analysis of what is the market doing. Is the population, economics, median income, are those increasing? What can you expect from your property? But I would look at a commercial broker for that and ask them to send you a market and a sub-market report. And then your free market reports, a lot of these brokerage houses are going to want to do business with investors because they're not a one-time buyer, they're multi-time, they're going to 1031 exchange, they're going to do multiple deals maybe in 1 year, and they're going to want to supply what rent rates are, what obviously houses are going for, and things of that nature to try to basically attract those investors. So look for those in your area. And then industry supplied reports. IRM, Institute of Real Estate Management, National Apartment Association, and NARPM, National Association of Residential Property Managers. They put out reports, they put out information, the local chapters, worth giving a call, seeing if they do anything locally, and if they'd be willing to send that to you. From there, really, let's see if you can see. Yeah, you can see this. From there, you're gonna have, let's just say Zillow is this, let's say 1,000. Craigslist is gonna be $1,250. You call a property manager, they suggest 1,100. And you look at some of the reports that are coming out and they're saying the median rents are for a 2-bedroom or $1,150. So essentially from there, you could really put those numbers together and have a high of $1,250, a low of 1,000, and somewhere probably going to be closer to 11 to 1150 based off of other experts. And you could do as many or as little as you want. I probably would do no less than 3, but you don't necessarily have to do everything on this list. And when you do that, that's kind of when you will become a expert level guesser, because ultimately when you put the property onto the market and suggest it, or you market it for rent, you just never know what it's actually going to rent for. You just want to know as close as you can so that when you buy that property, you're not taking it in the pants. One of the things that I would say is important to ultimately not waste your time is understand, quickly what a property could potentially sell for or rent for. So if a wholesaler or a real estate agent, an investor specialist real estate agent brings you this killer deal, you know whether you should dig into it deeper or not waste any of your time. And what those quick analytics are is price per unit type. So a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, what is that was renting for? Versus a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and things of, you can go as much or as little as you want with that. But understanding really what price per bedroom, what are they renting for, parts of town, and then price per square foot per month. So comparatively with commercial leases, residential rates are per square foot per month. They could range from 75 cents per square foot for maybe a 3,000 square foot house in Fort Collins, probably closer to $1. 75 cents actually is a pretty good number, to $3 a square foot. What if you have a downtown loft above Lucky Joe's that's 400 square feet. You're gonna get some prime time rents for that. So quickly knowing what a potential rent range could be for an investment just will save you time in the long run. An example that I've given is if an investor specialist real estate agent brought me a deal that was $600,000 downtown Fort Collins, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I'm crumpling that page up and I'm throwing it back at them and I'm saying, best case scenario, I'm getting $2,000 a month, maybe $2,250, but on a $600,000 purchase, I ain't buying no property to get $2,200 on $600,000 purchase price. On the flip side, if that same investor specialist brought me a 4-bedroom, 3-bath in Midtown Fort Collins for $350,000, well, shoot, maybe I could get $2,250 for that. And at that point, those numbers start to make quite a bit of sense. So ultimately, not wasting your time by knowing these just quick analytics, price per unit, price per bedroom, price per square foot, could save you a lot of time in the long run. Alrighty, so the final part of determining what rents are and setting rents are different strategies for really timing and how you could go about setting rents, which gets down to a new rental, a renewal, and a vacate. If you're buying a single family rental on the market, it is more than likely going to be vacant when you close. Once you get into multifamily, duplex, triplex, more than likely those will be occupied units, but it could also be selling because they're vacant or an eviction's happening, tired landlord, whatever different reasons you can think of, but you're buying an unoccupied multifamily, which actually there was one that's closing in downtown Fort Collins, fourplex, 2 of the units are unoccupied. So having a new property rental strategy is important, which we'll jump into first. And there's different strategies for that, which would be, going after top of the market rents, considering what your daily debt service is, or going below market rent and accepting less vacancy. So the example that I've got is a single family rental in Fort Collins, $425,000, 80% LTV, 3.5% interest rate, which plus taxes and insurance gives you a rental rate, a debt service of $6,250 plus a little operational expenses. If I'm going for a top of the market rent, $2,350 per month, it's gonna sit vacant from my estimations for 35 days. So I'm gonna lose $2,750 based off of a rental rate of $2,350. Versus if I went after a median rental rate of $2,250, but only sits vacant for 7 days, so I only lose $525. Well, looking at what the annual difference is between $2,350 and $2,250, I would be making $28,200 versus $27,000 at $2,250. Personally, I think it's a pretty easy decision if I lowered the rent, had a lower below market rate, accepted less vacancy, so I only lost $525, but I only made $27,000 versus going after a higher rent, leaving it vacant for 35 days, but losing $2,750. That's my theory, but you're gonna have to build one for yourself. The next strategy would be what a renewal rental rate would be. And things to consider on that would be the cost of turnover versus the cost of below market rents. So this example of $2,350 versus $2,250, I'm losing $100 per month for potential higher rental rate. But let's say to turn that unit over, they say, nope, we're gonna vacate. I'm gonna go ahead and go turn that unit over. It's gonna have 3 to 5 days vacant, move out, clean, prep, new paint, carpet, maintenance, whatever, 3 to 5 days vacancy. Plus, the cost of cleaning, cost of new carpets, painting, general maintenance. Let's just say the average turnover cost is gonna be $1,000. Well, if I can get an extra $100, maybe that's worth it to me. But what if instead of $2,350, I only got $2,300? So an extra $50 a month or $600 annually, I'm down $400 for that year. Now, if that unit stays in there for 5 years, 4 years, well, maybe that extra $1,000 that cost me to turn the unit over, but I'm getting an extra $50 a month with these tenants. maybe it's worth it. So that's something to consider on renewal rates. And then finally, the vacate rates. I would say this is where you need to get hungry. Maybe the market rents are $2,350, but well, shit, I want to go after $2,500 per month because I have a 60 to 120 day renewal notice, meaning the tenants are contractually bound to give me 60 to 120 days, depending on what your lease says, to let me know if they're going to stay or go. Because 120 days, you can bet your ass I'm going to get really aggressive on those rental rates, and then I'm going to systematically lower the market rent until that place gets rented. But you have 60 to 120 days, and so long as you require contractually, again, that your current tenants allow you to show their occupied unit, that is where you can get your marketing going, get unit tenants through there, and so that you only have 3 to 5 days vacancy when that tenant moves out. So of all times to get hungry for the top of the market rents, that's gonna be when it is when a tenant, per their circumstances, are moving out, moving back home across state lines, have a family, they absolutely need a third bedroom, whatever that might be. Sometimes you just can't help a renewal and they're gonna vacate no matter what. So that's ultimately when you should get hungry. So between a new, renewal, and vacate, those are some different strategies of what type of renewal or rent rates to set. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is what I feel is good information for determining rents and buying investment properties. Hopefully this information helps you. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, join me, converse, ask questions. I really appreciate the engagement that I've gotten. Again, this is Patrick, Sukup Real Estate Services here in Fort Collins, Colorado.